what's happening right here now, right now, it's right now.
And I'm unmuted. All right, everybody. Good evening. Not sure where we're at in Law of Success. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello, Roz. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Sean.
Good to see you. Let's see here. Where are we at? No, we're not in lesson 4. There we are. And 8:27. Might be getting closer. Self-control formula. So question is have you written out the self-control, self-confidence formula? I can't find my copy. I need to write that back out again. So page 111 in the blue book.
I did write it out, Sean.
Excellent. How's that make you feel?
Accountable.
Okay.
Like to me. The other night, when you were talking, or maybe it was the morning call, but I just felt like that I am not, I'm playing small. Like I'm not doing what I can do.
Right.
Not even what I should do, what I can do.
Yep. And not what you're capable of doing.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Capable of doing. That is the bigger part.
And so that brings a question up of why can we go and do some of the most outrageous things in the service of others? Right? Somebody gets sick, somebody's got a issue, we can ask somebody to, hey, listen, do you have jumper cables for somebody else's car?
Mm-hmm.
Faster than we'll ask for our own. Quite a curious dilemma that exists there. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to guess we're on the power of habit. That's where I think we're at. So I'm going to put this here, 10-1. 10-1-24. Start.
Yes, that's what I have.
Okay, good. Excellent. Excellent. Running computers low in space. We'll figure that out later. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Here we go. So the power of habit. having myself experienced all the difficulties, that being Napoleon Hill, having myself experienced all the difficulties that stand in the road of those who lack the understanding to make practical application of this great principle of auto suggestion. I got to tell you, that is one of the most powerful tools that exists on the planet. Auto suggestion. The greatest principle of auto suggestion. Let me take you a short way into the principle of habit, through the aid of which you may easily apply the principle of auto suggestion in any direction for any purpose whatsoever. Habits grow out of environment, out of doing the same thing or thinking the same thing or repeating the same words over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Habit may be linked to the groove on the phonograph record, while the human mind may be likened to the needle that fits into that groove. When any habit has been formed through repetition or through thought, this hat is driving me cuckoo. So let's see here. That doesn't look any better either, but we'll work it out. When any habit has been well formed through repetition of thought or action, oh, you think I need a hat? No, I don't. What do you call it? Addiction to approval. Who has that? When any habit has been well formed through repetition of thought or action, the mind has a tendency to attach itself to and follow the course of that habit as closely as a phonograph needle follows the groove in the wax record. Habit is created by repeatedly directing one or more of the five senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling in a given direction. It is through this repetition principle that the injurious drug habit is formed. It is through the same principle that the desire for intoxicating drink is formed into habit. After a habit has been well established, it will automatically control and direct the bodily activity, neuroencoding, where may be found a thought that can be transformed into powerful factor into the development of self-confidence. The thought is this: voluntarily and by force, if necessary, direct your efforts and your thoughts along a desired line until you have formed the habit that will lay hold of you, and continue voluntarily to direct your efforts along the same line. The object in writing out and repeating the self-confidence formula is to form the habit of making belief in yourself the dominating thought of your mind until that thought has been thoroughly embedded in your subconscious mind through the principle of habit. You learn to write by repeatedly directing your muscles of your arm and hand over certain outlines known as letters until finally you form the habit of tracing these outlines. Now you write with ease and rapidity without tracing each letter slowly. Writing has become a habit with you. The principle of habit will lay hold of the faculties of your mind just the same as it will influence the physical muscles of your body, neuroencoding, as you can easily prove by mastering and applying this lesson of self-confidence. Any statement that you repeatedly make to yourself, or any desire that you deeply plant in your mind through repeated statement, will eventually seek expression through your physical, outward, bodily efforts, strategy. The principle of habit is the very foundation upon which the principle of habit is the very foundation upon which this lesson of self-confidence is built. And if you will understand and follow the directions laid down in this lesson, you will soon know more about the law of habit from firsthand knowledge than could be taught by 1,000 such lessons as this. Page 114. You have but little conception of the possibilities which lie sleeping within you, awaiting but the awakening hand of vision to arouse you, and you will never have a better conception of those possibilities unless you develop sufficient self-confidence to lift you above the commonplace influences of your present environment. That one hit you in the gut, Roz? Isn't that what we were just talking about?
Definitely.
Yeah. You have but little conception of the possibilities which lie sleeping within you, awaiting but the awakening hand of vision to arouse you. And you will never have a better conception of those possibilities unless you develop sufficient self-confidence to lift you above the commonplace influences of your present environment. Okay, let's digest this paragraph. You have but little conception. How come we don't know? How is it possible we don't know? Is it possible? So remember way back in the beginning where Thomas Paine talked about voluntary visitors? And he does his best to treat them with honor and respect. I don't know if I'll turn to the page that it is, but let's see here if I can find it real quick. And so if these voluntary visitors show up, then the question becomes, where were they before? Where were these voluntary visitors that all of a sudden show up through the mastermind, show up through a variety of things? And why don't we have any conception about this? Because we're not on that vibrational plane. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I think it's page 85.
Okay. I think I'm getting close. 87. Maybe not in my book. But anyway, so these voluntary visitors, why do we not have any conception? Why would we be limited? Why would we be so challenged that we couldn't even see our potential? Now think about that. You're reading this book and you're 115 pages into it. And you have little conception of the possibilities which lie sleeping within you. You're reading the book to awaken them, aren't you? I mean, editorially, I'm speaking to the you of anyone who's ever picked up this book. So then where do they lie? If we have little conception of it, where do they lie? They got to be out there, because then it goes on to say, awaiting but the awakening hand of vision to arouse you. What would it mean to start to dream, daydream, right? Desire, definite major purpose, possibility, potential, your dream board, all of these things to get us into a dream state, to get us into a vibrational state that says, okay, I am attracting that. That makes sense? And you will never have a better conception of those possibilities unless you develop sufficient self-confidence. So, based upon this, the possibilities that lie sleeping within us are waiting on us to develop our ego. What? Isn't it? Our true belief in ourselves, our self-confidence. That almost seems like it plays against one another. But yeah, but I mean, I don't want to, I don't need to be that, I don't want to be Joey Bag of Donuts and be everything's about me. It has to be about you. And it has to be about you in a way of gratitude, of love, of joy. I'm in the chapter of sex transmutation. And it talks about the triangle of love, romance, and sex. We don't talk much about that. The sex part. Romance a little bit. Love, we talk about all the time. Understanding that that is the triad of success. To be able to move oneself, to be able to open oneself to higher levels. That's a key to the subconscious. Intimate relationships in a particular manner, right? those between husband and wife or those who are in love. Otherwise, it's throwing gas on a piece of concrete. It's never going to light anything up. So the confidence of to develop self-confidence and lift you above the commonplace influences, our current environment. This is the definition of our personality is to create our personal reality. But the commonplace influences, our personal reality, is making up our personality. Commonplace influences of your present environment. That's a big, big, big paragraph. Questions, comments on it? Awarenesses, some ahas, anything like that happen for y'all?
I don't know, Sean, does that play into what I was saying about like playing small? Because sometimes
Mhm.
I feel like I don't want to sound as if I'm a know-it-all, or I mean, I don't know, like I'm smarter than everyone else. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
but here's the key. Yes, it is absolutely. You have little conception of all of your possibilities, of all of your playing big realities. We have little conception of it until we develop self-confidence. And self-confidence is you don't need to know everything. You just need to know what works for you. And that's enough. Too many of us spend time becoming the unconscious incompetent or the conscious incompetent. We are learning stuff we do not need to know. Right? When they were accusing Henry Ford of being not intelligent, he would said when he finally had enough and he got fed up with the attorney and he lashed out at him, he said, there's no reason for me to know something and put it in my mind if it can stay in the mind of somebody else. There's no reason. There's no reason for me to learn what's the square root of 72. I now can talk to an electrical device, speak a command, and it'll give me the number. Why do I need to know that? But it can't tell me what's Sean's formula. Alexa, what is Sean's formula for making $10 million?
PremierRegina.ca. In other words, you need to multiply 10,000 by 100. By the way, you have a new notification.
Alexa, stop. So it just was telling me the formula. It has no concept of what Sean needs to learn for him to go make $10 million. For Roz to go make $10 million. Why? Because there's no emotion. There's no understanding your current place in life on the planet, your current place in space on the planet, in this universe. Because that's the only place you can start from. You can't start at $1 million because you're not there yet. Maybe you had it, maybe you've lost it. If you are where you are, which is why every GPS says, okay, recalibrating, it needs to know where you are. When you turn it on, it calibrates to where you are. It doesn't calibrate to where you think you should be, which is why we need to have the self-confidence to know that we know where we're at. We know how we got here. We don't know the strategies of where we want to get to. So we have to study something else. If everything in the universe that exists, there's only two things that exist, energy and matter. And all matter is about 98% nothing, AKA energy. So when we want to go after the thing we want to go after, understanding the nothing is more important than understanding the something. Does that make sense? So therefore, it's imperative, it is paramount, it is critical for us to be able to step in, to be able to flow into the energy of a state of what it is that we want. It says here, you will never have a better conception, better what it doesn't say a better understand, better conception, a better idea, comprehension, a better conception of those possibilities unless you develop sufficient, doesn't say 100%, sufficient enough self-confidence to lift you above the commonplace influences of your current environment. If this was Think and Grow Rich and it says no fewer than 100 times has the secret to success been revealed on these pages, it will appear when you're ready for it. This is one of the secrets. You have but little conception of the possibilities which lie sleeping within you. Didn't say that you got to go dig them out of a mountain and prospect and go dig in the cold and create a mine and a shaft and go down and remove the overburden. No, they lie sleeping within you, awaiting but the awakening hand of vision to arouse you. Desire, intention, and you will never have a better conception of those possibilities unless you develop sufficient self-confidence to lift you above the commonplace influence. Isn't that cool? That's powerful stuff. I have questions. And again, you're always welcome to just go, hey, Skippy, I got a question. The human mind is a marvelous, mysterious piece of machinery, a fact which I was reminded a few months ago when I picked up Emerson's essays and reread his essay on spiritual laws. A strange thing happened. I saw in that essay, which I had read scores of times previously, much that I had never noticed before. I saw more in that essay than I had seen during previous readings because the unfoldment of my mind since last reading had prepared me to interpret more. Oof. This whole page is filet mignon, lobster tails, and the human mind is a marvelous piece of mysterious piece of machinery. And a fact I was reminded of a few months ago when I picked up Emerson's essays and reread his essay on spiritual laws. A strange thing happened. I saw in that essay, which I had read hundreds of times previously, much that I had never noticed before. I saw more in that essay than I had seen during the previous readings because the unfoldment, the expansion of my mind since the last reading, this is why it would be encouraging to reread books. Because the unfoldment of my mind since the last reading had prepared me to interpret more. The human mind is constantly unfolding like the petals of a flower until it reaches the maximum development. With this what this maximum is, where it ends, or whether it ends at all or not, are unanswerable questions. But the degree of unfoldment seems to vary according to the nature of the individual and the degree to which he keeps his mind at work. DMP, focused on your target, moving forward. A mind that is forced or coaxed into analytical thought every day seems to keep unfolding and developing greater powers of interpretation. Okay. I'm going to put a little mark right there. Does it make sense? Does it make sense now to understand why, even if we don't believe it, we need to read our goals every day, read the self-confidence formula every day, take 10 minutes to 30 minutes to visualize your goals, 10 minutes to speak them out loud? This is why, right here. This is why. This is and I'm sure it'll go on more and more detail and deeper. But the key is that what the maximum is and where it ends, or whether it ends at all, are unanswerable questions. But the degree of unfoldment, the degree of expansion, seems to vary according to the nature of the individual in the degree to which he keeps his mind at work. Positive or negative? Are you accessing the subconscious mind? Positive or negative, you are feeding the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't accept or reject anything. It takes everything as truth. So if you are reading your desires, if you are reading your definite major purpose, if you are focused on your task, if you are accessing the state of your words, all of a sudden, strategy, new strategy, strategy, new strategy, new strategy, new strategy, new strategy, new strategy. Does that make sense? All of this to say that as you continue to input and command your reticular activating system to seek the answers to this thing you believe is already true. They often say, I remember, I forget where it was, what workshop I was taking, but they asked, so what percentage? They had two lines with a times symbol in between, or no, a plus symbol. Words plus energy equals 100%. What percentage are the words and what percentage are the energy? The state of mind. People were going 95-5, 10, 90, 80, 20. It's 100% energy. 1% of doubt is like 1 degree off of boiling water. It's sitting at 211. Why isn't this boiling? Because it's 211. It's not 212. Oh, there's something going on in my brain because that's the second time I've gone now. And I'm not tired. That's the resetting. So take some time. Work yourself into a white hot heat. Get your activity, get your blood flowing, get your body moving to get excited about your goal. What is your goal? What's this thing you want to accomplish the rest of this week? October is here. Here we are, day 1. What do you want to get done October 30th? What's the thing? Or 31st, whatever it is. What's the thing? You got 30 days from now. What are you going to completely and absolutely focus on? What do you want to get a bigger conception of your possibilities? What do you want to awake with your hand of vision to arouse you? What conception, what understanding of the possibilities do you want to see what self-confidence brings to you? I am enough. I am more than enough. I am growing every day. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. Say that. I'm getting better in every way and every day. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. I forget which Dr. Cumil or something. It's a French name. He would have his patients say that. I'm getting better and better every way. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. Your body, your mind starts to go, okay, we can do that. My finances are getting better and better every day and in every way. My health is getting better and better. You could do the 5 pillars, 6. My faith is getting better and better every day in every way. My mental capabilities and capacities are getting better and better every day in every way. This is auto-suggestion. The chakras. I understand I'm getting better and better in every day in every way. I see myself getting better and better every day in every way. I speak the words of me getting better and better every day in every way. I love the way I'm getting better and better every day in every way. I am doing the things every day to get better and better every day in every way. I feel my body and my energy and those I love and care for in my world getting better and better getting better and better every day in every way. I am getting better and better every day in every way. Do you feel it? We got 400 more pages to go. Good news is maybe my grandkids will start reading on Tuesday night. Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways. That's some big stuff to chew on. We're going to end there. Takeaways, take with yous.
So you got to start with the most important to you. Important person.
Yep.
And you have to develop that success habit. So is it to do things in a certain way, or to do things in different ways?